All right, I think it's time. So let's see. Let me just make sure I have stuff I could do today. It's kind of weird today. So I know it's kind of late. I just got done with the meeting. I've been doing all these different things. You know what? We're gonna get this going on. All right. So I have my one viewer. Thank you very much. And then so in 20 seconds, we're gonna start the Worldwide Wednesday, right? And then so let's go for it. Ladies and gentlemen, live from the worldwide internet, Big Daddy Shin's proud to present Worldwide Wednesday. Okay, no sound effects today, but just in case you're wondering, yes, I'm Big Daddy Shin. Thanks for coming today. So I'm not doing the whole thing on. I'm not doing the whole thing on doing the whole YouTube and or Facebook and all that stuff. Today is just strictly YouTube. No Instagram, no nothing, right? So I mean, some of you guys figured out by now. I'm putting together a show, and then so what I realize is it's like, with like simple ideas, and you're like, oh, okay, I think it'd be cool to do this, and then like a lot of the stuff you guys know, it's all about happiness. But I mean, okay, before I get to that, it's like talking about I'm a teacher, right? So people are expected to teach, and like all my students, you're supposed to be able to give them something. So make sure that they learn something every day, because if they don't, then they're the same person that they were yesterday. So if you learn one thing, I don't care where you learn it from, but you learn one thing for a week, 7 days, you're 7 times as smarter as you were a week ago. So that's why every year, you graduate, you should be 1 year smarter. But if you don't do anything, you do the same thing day in, day out, then you become the same person that you used to be. So I'm one of those people that, like, okay, I know I pick up things here and there, and thank goodness that my mom and my dad pushed me to do stuff where it's like maybe I didn't want to when I was younger, or my friends, they say, hey, you know what, you should do this. It's like, oh no, I'm too lazy, or I don't want to do it, but the reason is because you're lazy, right? But then when I started doing these different things, it made it so I learned more stuff and became very well-rounded, right? So it's like when I remember when I'm pretty good with like computers. I used to be, and then just it passed me up. But what happened is, I remember a long time ago on the PC there was a thing called print shop, print artist, and I'm like, oh man, look at me, I could do this stuff. And then if any computer people out there, I was using BMP images. So it was like using like little squares and then like making my images. I'm like, oh wow, my thing's pretty awesome. And then so my professional friends would say, hey, you gotta vector it. So they're like, hey, what's going on, Kenny? So they would tell me, yeah, you got to vector it. It's like, what's a vector? It's like, yeah, because if you blow it up, it's going to be all pixelated. It's like, what's pixelated? But what happened is, as time went on, and then my teacher Fatim, she needed help doing her brochures and stuff, and then I'd put together like the program. My friend helped me with the InDesign, and then basically make the boxes, put it in, and you're like, oh wow, that's not too bad. And hey, can you help me put a ad together? And then so what happened is, when people would ask me to do it, I thought I was pretty good. So let me see if I could show you. So let me open up something. Let me go on. Okay, let me just make an InDesign, simple InDesign thing. Okay, so let me open up this program so you can see what I've been doing. Okay, so what I would do, I would go create new, right? And then create a new default like that. Go, you know what? Let's just go this way. Okay, so let me switch to this. Okay, so what happens is, here's my InDesign, okay, or whatever it is. It's so I'm going on here, start some new. I'm going custom, right? So then what I would do is I would find a picture. I just want a blank one. Why is it doing this to me? I'm just going to go create new. There we go. Create new custom. Go. Oh, create. There. Okay. So yeah, if you're wondering, I've been doing these images forever now. Okay. So what happens is you have these things where it's like, I go, okay, you know what, Steve, you got to do a program. So I'm like, okay, so I go and then let's see, let me use this. Okay, so I go over here and I Google up a picture. So like my school, they want me to do a logo. So it's with the astronaut, and the initials are VVVA. Okay, so I go, oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get an astronaut, because we are astronaut logo profile art, because we are the Voyagers. So I'm like, okay, look, I think I want this one. So you see this right here, right? This image right here. So what I do, I go save image as, and then I already saved it, okay? But let's go right here. I go download on desktop, and I go, okay, astronaut. Okay. So what I do is I get off here, and I go over here, and then I go to the astronaut image right here. And then I will drag it on here, and bam, there you go. And I'm going, oh, wow, look at me. And you know what? I'm going to be creative. I'm going to go here. Where is it? Transform. I'm going to flip it the other way. Flip horizontal, right? And then I go, oh, you know what? Okay, let's do this. I'm going to go Victor or V-A, right? And then you go, you do this, and then you have to do the font, change it to font size. You know, you go like 48. You go, okay, I want to know font size 72. Oh shoot! So what happens? I have to go like this, and I got to find where is it? Okay, there it is, right? And you go, ooh, okay, VVVA, you know, and then you go, okay, why is it doing that? Why is it doing that? Okay, and then you go, you know, type here, you go, home of the Voyagers, right? And I go right here, and then I will put size big or whatever it is. Okay, so it's like I go here, and you're like, yes, I am. Oh. Okay, and that's what it is. And you're like, oh, you know what? I need to do something exciting about it. Maybe I'm going to put a background thing on it, and you know, maybe I'll put. Let me see what my thing is. I have the Earth. Let me see. I have an Earth and what? Let me see it. Is it there? Is it there? Is it there? Okay, here we go. Hold on. I know I have it here somewhere. Where's my Earth picture? Where is my Earth picture? I know I have it somewhere. Sorry about this, everybody. But you know what? Let's use this. Let's use this from a background. Okay, just say I want to go, all right, I'm going to go here. Right? And then go, okay, transform or arrange, go all the way to the back. There we go. Yay. Okay, so what happened is back in the day, this is my skills, but then I'd try to make it better. I'd be like, okay, you know what? I'm going to change this to white, whatever. Okay. But I figure, you know what? I can't do this to my boss, because he's going to be like, you know what, Shin, this sucks. You're fired. Right? So I go, okay. It turns out you could go on YouTube and you could find out anything. So what I did was the VVVA and the astronaut, and this is what I came up with. So I go, let me go in here. And then, so this one, I have Oh, right here. This is my logo that I designed yesterday. So if you see, it is a VV. Okay, so you have a V, and then there's another line for another V, and another V, and then A. So I have that Van Halen thing going for me, right? And then I also have the Adidas thing going for me, and then the astronaut on the side. Now, thing is, the astronaut, okay, maybe it didn't look too good doing this, but just getting the chrome thing about it, I'm like, wow, this thing's pretty cool. And this was my first try going for it, right? So all of a sudden, I'm like, wait a minute. I could put together some pretty cool logos, you know? And I think that I could, you know, I mean, not make a career out of this, but it's like, you know, those graphic artist people, they're like $100 an hour or something. And then, you know, when you go, oh, can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this? Can you, right? But instead of asking somebody else to do it, I figure, you know what? I'm going to ask them for guidance. Like, you know, when I find out what masking is and you know, the layers and all this stuff, rasterizing. And then so I learned how to do that. And then so I was able to do different brochures for my friends like this. I mean, I'll show you like a couple. I mean, it's pretty cool when you get to see. Like this one is which one's one of my favorites? One of my favorites. Well, okay, so if you see my teachers, let's go my teachers for teen, right? So she is, or is it? Right here. So if you see, I have the whole Big Daddy Shin thing, right? I know, like boom, right? So I made the gold letters on top. You see, I put the back, and then I put the taste of belly dance right there. It's like a neon sign type thing. I mean, before it would look like this. See the white letters, the Big Daddy Shin thing up there, and that wasn't cool. Like, okay, let's zoom up right there. Okay. All right. So see, when you have this stuff up here, then you know, it's just basic stuff, and you have my logo and whatever. Okay. But what happens is when you go to the gold letters, you could do this on Photoshop. I'm like, oh my gosh. And you just follow the directions. I think the video is like only like, you know, like 5 minutes. And then actually the neon sign was a little bit more than that. I was like, oh man, this sucks. And then so I learned how to take the background off their pictures so they could, you could put them in here. And then, you know, she's German, but then she lives in America, you know, and then talk about the event on the bottom. And that's just how it goes. So now my skills are getting pretty amazing on just Photoshop. And it's not because I wanted to do it, right? It's just because that I had to do it, right? So all these different things on when you learn skills, you do a necessity, turns out that you become pretty good. So especially like when, you know, like I did the promo video, right? I needed to learn how to do it really quickly. Okay, because you could just be the same old, I mean, it's not just event promoter or whatever. You see the things on TV, okay? If I have a sick system that looks like, you know, like the way that my sound or the way that my thing is, whatever, and then like a high-powered computer, you might as well use it. So all those people that you see, like those commercials, I have the same exact tools as what they have. Now, thing is, I could do something basic, or I could use my creativity and figure out how they do it. Like, you know, if I went like this and like fire came out or something, that'd be pretty cool, right? So it's a program called After Effects that I need to learn as well. And then so all the different things on when I started doing this just out of necessity. I'm like thinking, what if I could do this? What if I could do that? What if whatever, right? And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, there's so many things you could do. And then so when I'm talking to some of these other dancers from all over the world, and then some of them have like 230,000 on YouTube or Instagram and cut 300,000. And then so I see that they're all former graphic designers. So they know how to edit their videos and make it look good and what's catchy and stuff. I'm like, oh, okay. Because I never wanted to be the one where it's like, you know, I Photoshop myself and then make me look skinnier or kind of whatever. But it's more than that. It's just putting what the people want to see, it just instantly, and they watch what they want to see, and then it's done, right? But most of you that watch my stuff, you guys watch because you for some reason you like hearing me talk, and maybe you're watching when you're going to sleep. It's like the ASMR video, right? You're like, oh, okay, good. Shin's making an hour-long video. I'm gonna sleep like a baby tonight. Yeah, I get it, right? But in the meantime, I'm learning incredible stuff. I'm learning how to do more stuff on computer. And then I didn't even touch learning all the stuff on sound, with my singing stuff, because my buddy Harold the handyman, he is genius, right? And then also be able to develop a website, all these different things. It's because I had to do it out of necessity, right? I don't have $1 million to go pay a lot of people to do whatever, but if I have the tools, I have to learn to use it. Just like this machine right there, right? This exercise machine. I bought it, and a lot of people lose weight on the thing. And then so if I bought it and I didn't use it, that's a waste of money right there. So, I do it every day, ranging from 30 minutes to 5 minutes. But hey, it's better than nothing, right? So that's what I'm doing. And then also other thing about learning too is, okay, this was a big thing that I learned that I don't know why I just never did it before in the past. It's like the world, we're full of indulgers, right? We want to get the most. He who dies with the most toys wins, right? You heard that terminology, or you see that license plate, right? And then, well, I don't see it anymore, but I guess that person died. No, but anyway, so what happens is, like when McDonald's first started, right? You get a small Coke and a hamburger, right? You guys know, like when you get a Happy Meal, you're like, this is for kids. Look how small it is, whatever. But back in the day, that's the size that regular people would eat. It's small fries, small Coke, and a hamburger, and then you're perfectly fine. But what happened is we're in an age of excess where people, they don't want a small, they want a medium. They don't want they want a regular hamburger. They want a double cheeseburger. What? There's something called the Big Mac? Oh my gosh, I'm starving. I'm going to go for that. Wow, if I get a Big Mac, I need a large Coke, large fries. Oh, you know what? Those chicken nuggets are on sale. Let me get one of those, right? Sorry, I'm using Taco Bell. It's just that they have the dollar Cokes right now, any size. And so that's like, oh gosh, dollar Coke. It's like great Coke too. But what happens is everyone started raising their prices on stuff because they're starting to serve more food. So you go to a restaurant and you have this huge plate of food. And then actually your first initial, when you see it, you're like, oh my gosh, can I eat that? But you spent so much money that you're going to eat it all, right? Some people like me, I hate bringing home leftovers because I don't want to carry that bag, right? But sometimes you just have to. So, I always heard people, oh yeah, cut the meal in half, get that part to go, and then just eat the other half. Okay, common sense. It's really simple. But what happens when we go to the movie? That thing's going to sit in my car. I'm going to forget about it. And then like 3 days later, my car's going to smell like Korean barbecue. And I'm going to go, is it me? Or is it this old food, right? So I'm like, okay, no. But last couple days, I learned a lot when I was working really hard this last week. I realized that I could survive like on minimal food, and I dropped like 12 pounds, right? It was like 12 to 15, whatever. I gained about like 4 back the other days because I started eating again. But the thing is, what I learned is when I drink a lot of water, I know everyone's saying, hey, didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you? Yes, everybody told me. And you probably told me underneath your breath that, yeah, I should have drank more water. But no joke. So when I drink more water, I don't eat as much. Common sense, right? For instance, when I went to Knott's Berry Farm, the Taste of Mary Farm with Clarissa, we're joking with those people that are outside, like, oh, look at those people taking leftovers. Ha, 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 ha. I wonder how many leftovers we're going to have. Ha, 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 ha. We go in there, we throw down. We eat all our meals consecutively, no leftovers. And we're like, oh my gosh, we don't have any leftovers. But, I didn't really drink that much water that day, and that was it. And then so that was the week where I really didn't eat much, like the whole week, but I was starving. And then so I went to, oh, so it was 2 weeks later. And then so I went with Jill. And then so we took our time. We're actually sitting at the table, eating just a little bit, but I'm drinking a lot of water, right? And then after the first meal, I'm like, oh my gosh, we have 4 meals to go, right? We eat the second one, and then I'm starting to get full. But now it's like we have 3 more things to order. And the calculation is the ticket costs $40 and you get 5 things. So everything's $8. Okay. So if we don't use 3 of them, that's $24. So it's like, no, we got to eat it. We got to eat it. And then so I'm just forcing myself to eat it. But I'm like, okay, never mind. We got some to-go stuff and I gave her the rest of it, but I only ate 3 things that day. Did I? I don't know. But it wasn't the whole thing. And I remember I was feeling horrible because it's like I ate the stuff and I drank a lot of water. And then so the next couple days, I started doing stuff where, I would eat something, but I don't want to eat the whole thing anymore. It's like I just need a taste, and then I'd throw the stuff away, right? The willpower. When you have that one last cookie or you have that one last bite or whatever, it's like, okay, do I really want to finish it? Or, I mean, I get it. There's like people starving everywhere in the world, but I am not one of the starvers right now. I have a lot of weight. I have a lot of fat. So every bite that I eat is more calories. It's going to just cake onto fat and I could die, So that's why it's like, I started realizing this week, it's like when I'm not hungry, just throw the stuff away, really. And then, today actually I was at Costco. And then, so, I got the hot dog and the Coke and a pizza, right? But instead of a Coke, I got the Diet Light Lemonade or whatever it is. And then I started eating the hot dog, but I just didn't feel like eating the bun anymore. So I just ate the meat and threw the bun away. And then the pizza, it's a pretty big pizza because it's actually 2 slices. I think I ate like 4 bites. And then I was fine. And I was thinking, do I really want to eat the rest of this? And then I'm like, I don't. So I threw it away. And then also I still wasn't finished with my first cup of lemonade. And instead of going and like getting a refill and drinking that and then drink as much as I can and go, I just threw that away too. So normally I would refill my drink and walk home and or go home or do whatever I have to do. And then so those are extra calories that I would normally pick up, But what happens is this is one of those things where it's like, when you hit my age, I'm 50, I have to do all these different tests and like checkups and everything. It's like you have to learn as you go along because you do hear things, in the past, like even when you're a kid. Hey, don't eat past 7. Make sure you don't eat before you go swimming. Oh, don't eat too much chocolate. You're going to get fat or your teeth are going to get rotten. Don't do this. Don't do that. Right. But usually it takes something traumatic. Like all of a sudden, like, hey, Big Daddy Shin, you have cancer. It's like, oh, crap. What am I going to do? Right. I know it's bad to say stuff like that, but it's like, I'm just saying. And then so I don't want to be in that position. So that's why now I am more wary of that and learning on how things go, right? So whether it's about my physical life or about like my professional life, because with the school, we're trying to change the world and we're trying to do stuff, and I'm doing my best, and all the little skills because it's just me and my boss. It's like one administrator, one teacher, and we got to do everything. So we could look like the unfortunate kid that can't buy stuff from the ice cream man, or we could be the ones that, even though we're not getting ice cream, we're pretty cool kids and look at our product, right? So that's why I'm working really hard on this. I'm going to have it make a commercial and, voiceover, all that stuff, and try to recruit as many kids as possible from all over the world. Oh, right now it's just high desert. But, the home of the Voyagers. So, it's that and... just still remaining happy. That's the main thing. But it's good that this week, I learned so much stuff. And then also the last 2 weeks, I learned a tremendous amount of stuff about myself and how I handle situations and like how to deal with people and stuff, right? And the whole past month, like, when I woke up that day with that idea to do that show, it's like, oh my gosh, I mean, my insight's pretty awesome right now because, some people, they go like, oh, I want to be famous. I want to do this. I want to do that. And, realistically, okay, when I was younger, I totally wanted to be famous. I wanted to be like, oh, I'm going to be that awesome Asian dude who sings R&B on, whatever. And, oh, I'm going to be a commercial actor and be the funny dude or, all that kind of stuff, right? But the thing is, it didn't happen, right? And maybe it didn't happen for a reason, okay? Because all these different things that you want from that, especially now that we grew up and we're in the whole social media culture and everything, it's pretty gnarly, And then so with the stuff that I'm experiencing these days, I'm actually thankful that I could actually do like a worldwide Wednesday, and there's only 6 people, 5 people. Someone quit on me already, right? Or, sing on Fridays and, maybe like, 10 people, 20 people watching, and then they comment and I could talk directly to them. That's actually great. I actually love that. I can't imagine when you have like 1,000 people, right? And then, half of them like you, half of them hate you and stuff. So it's like the thing about being like world famous and stuff, I really don't care about that. It's just the ones that do watch me. I just hope that we just have good relationship. You guys, I get to hear your stories. You guys comment, I respond. You guys get to see my life. So it's like, we're actually friends, But then going up and then, you don't want to go and, see someone dig up dirt because they're like, oh, we hate this dude. Or, it's like that's nothing that anybody should have to go through, right? So in the meantime, I'm just learning that, well, I always knew that I'm happy just being me, right? And then I'm happy that, like, if you're watching this video, that we have some type of connection, that you actually, we like each other that much where you'd sit through. I have no idea how long this video has been going, but it's really cool. And then I know I ramble at times. Well, I ramble most of the times. If you watch those exercise videos where I go at the park, I mean, Reggie's just on me. Reggie, if you're watching, what's up? But it turns out that sometimes someone just hits a random video of mine, and then they like, oh my gosh, it's so awesome, you're so honest, and this, and that's what I enjoy. I really do. I don't want the latest trendy video. I mean, I always like joke around. I remember the PPAP, the I got a pen, I got a pineapple. Do you remember that one? So, I mean, but different things, but most of the stuff I learned is the best thing in the world is trust and honor and your honesty. So that's why I'm just trying to learn every day, and I hope you guys do too. Because, it doesn't have to be school or have to be like a test you have to pass or something. If someone just floats you some piece of knowledge, just learn it, and then you become a better person. But try not to get to the spot where, oh, I don't need to learn anything. I know everything. And those people stay the same, right? You always were in school and you had that kid who's really smart in the beginning of the year, but then they didn't work hard. And then the class passed them by. It's like, oh, wait a minute. I was the top kid. It's like, you were the top kid, right? So anyways, that's about all I have to say today. But I don't know if anyone had questions and stuff, but that's what's going on my Worldwide Wednesday. I'm learning, and I'm learning out of necessity. And I wish it was pleasure, but learning is just something we do as humans. Every day you should learn something new, and I am learning a lot of stuff. The question is, are you? Anyways, come watch me Wednesday, Friday. Got some good singing for you, and let's see what happens. All right. Anyways, Big Daddy Shin, Worldwide Wednesday. See you next time.